Welcome to the 47th annual Girls Rotary Tournament, where we have the 5th grade division this time. We have the McAuliffe Challengers versus the Powell White Beavers. For the McAuliffe Challengers, their road to get here was a long one. They had to face Ramona in the first round, beating them 13-4. Second round playing Mar Vista and winning 7-4. I think I repeated myself. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. And for Powell, they had one game to get here. They played Mason Union, and we already bit the tip off, ladies and gentlemen.
Ball's going over to the Powell White. Number 6 to inbound. Miranda comes back to the ball, number 5. Oh, she got that off arm out, but she turned the corner. Something we talked about extensively in the 3rd and 4th grade division game about turning the corner. I think every level we go up, we're gonna see a little more and more fundamentals as we go. That's just the nature of the game. You know, these teams aren't here because they're lucky, okay? Obviously, skill increases luck, but it's a testament to the fact that in these championship teams, you're gonna see quality players, quality fundamentals, quality work.
Couldn't say it better, ladies and gentlemen. That's Boogie for you, with the words of wisdom as always. Me and Boogie go way back, ladies and gentlemen. You wouldn't even know it. But here we go.
Back in the days when we were young, we're not a kid anymore, so now we just announce them on the TV.
Powell White
Shout out to Ahmad.
Is coached by Gary Hernandez. Keys to victory, according to Gary, just like the last game. Defense. Defense wins you championships, ladies and gentlemen.
And look at his second keys to victory, layups. Defense and layups, okay? Obviously defense number 1, like we said, but layups, like we were talking about the free throws in the previous game. In case you didn't catch the 3rd and 4th grade game, there was some missed free throws when they're called free throws. Layups are kind of the same thing when you're around the game of basketball. How important it is to make sure you take advantage of those layups, especially the wide open breakaway ones or slightly contested ones. You really need to make a high percentage of those to win games. Ooh, Christa McAuliffe, number 25, nets both free throws.
Jada Stone.
Here goes 0-0. Finn dribbling up the court. She turns left. Nice move. Gets a shot up with the right hand, and she's fouled.
She's fouled by Jada Stone. That is her first team foul.
Finagala Nelson to shoot 2, number 0-0. Digging those pink and white black Nikes she has on. See if they help her put it in the hoop, and they do.
She put the biscuit in the basket.
She was a dead part of the rim there, but hey, a bucket's a bucket. 2-1 as she steps to the line for her second shot. And Finn nets the second one. 2-2, 5 minutes to go, first period. Here goes a long pass over the top of the pressure. Inbounded, number 7. That's Jaylene Ruiz passing it over. They get in underneath, foul. All right, looks like the refs are gonna be calling it pretty tight, so you might wanna pound that ball down into the paint. 25 steps to the line again. I believe she took the first 2, right?
Yes, she did.
Jada Stone.
And
that one goes off the backboard and misses by a hair. Gets a little stretch out in, steps to the line for number 2. And Stone nets the next free throw.
3 of 4 for Stone.
Finagala drives left, drives right, looks to the middle, which is the weak spot of his own defense, follows the shot, probably traveled there, but didn't get the shot off anyways. And here goes back in the hands of Stone, who seems to be one of the key players for this Challengers team. Oh, down low to number 20. Nice pass underneath. 24 doesn't draw iron. Foul on number 7. That's Jaylene Ruiz. Ball goes into Powell White.
Boogie, let me ask you something. I just see with both teams, they have very, very tall point guards. Do you see that trend happening now at the high school level? Because I know you do coach at the high school level. Or is that still the traditional shorter girls still bringing the ball up to court?
There's an advantage to both. I think at the end of the day, Samson, you got to go with your best player. And once you determine who that best player is, you know, strictly with controlling the game, being the floor leader, and the ball handling skills, it now comes down to the strengths and weaknesses of the tall point guard. Do their weaknesses outweigh her strengths, or is the shorter, you know, the fact that she's shorter can get under the defense, cross up lower, where her strengths outweigh the weakness of the taller point guard. At the end of the day, the girls' ball game, because now they pressure up more, in the press break, I love to have a tall ball handler.
Right.
Whether she's going to control it once you beat the press is another story. Now you want to get it to a smaller guard, maybe if she's quicker in attack, but you definitely want a taller guard forward that can slightly handle the ball if a team's pressing the way Pal White is, because they can see over the defense.
Like I told you guys, it's words of wisdom by Matt Boogie Ramirez.
There goes Finn back up the floor on the right side. See, there she goes. They're going to put the decision on the referees to make a decision. Lower your shoulder and go up, and here goes trapping out of a missed ball. See, and this is what I'm talking about right here. You might want a taller player in that situation. As you can see, Coach Hernandez is using his tall players to trap, which is another great move.
Back to the 1-2 layup that we talked about. Chef Finagala, she have gone off to 2 feet, established herself instead of going in hard, quick and fast, and the ball going over and hitting the backboard as it did.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
players are going to play.
They're going to play, and especially the lower you go, you're going to have mistakes. You know, you got to know which ones you're going to live with them and which ones they're more mental mistakes rather than just, I'm playing too hard. Oh, there's a steal by number 8. Number 8.
Lasha Brown.
Lasha Brown with a nice steal, but ball comes back out of bounds. McAuliffe Challengers clinging to a 1-point lead here, dwindling down in the first period. Oh, might have been a moving screen.
Just a little bit.
That one. Number 5 gets the ball tipped. Jada Stone playing a fantastic game thus far. Number 1 dribble drives. That's
the coach's daughter,
Miranda Hernandez, and she's smacked.
And she'll go to the line to shoot 2. I think this game will come down to the free throw line. Who hits their free throws? Like any game. Just at the third and fourth game earlier.
If I know anything about her father, I think she might step to the line and knock both these down.
Right on cue as she makes the first.
Coach Gary Hernandez was a tremendous shooter coming up through high school and college basketball, and even in his coaching days at the high school levels, he could still put it up in any faculty game or staff game. And look at the form right there. Comes off the back iron, cross the line, looks like violation shooter. Oh, yes. No, violation, blue. I missed that one. Did you catch that one, Samson?
I missed it too. I thought Miranda had stepped in earlier than anybody else.
I agree with you.
And here we go. It's 3-3 right now at the end of the first. But Miranda Hernandez is at the line shooting 1 with no time left in the first quarter. And she crossed the line, but seems to have counted the free throw.
They're going to count it. Maybe with nobody out there, they just don't call it. But unfortunately, that's a universal call because it gives a point. And even though that there was no rebounding opportunity, you still need to call a violation because that's a point.
Yes, exactly. So at the end of the first quarter, it is 4-3 in favor of the Powell White Beavers.
Is that what they go by, the Beavers?
That's what I thought they were going to switch to, was the Beavers, Matt.
All right. Oregon State.
Exactly. Gary Payton University.
Good call.
Thank you.
Now we're testing our knowledge.
Let me get the ball. You and Miranda.
The glove. God, I enjoyed playing him play. Enjoying watching him play, especially in the heyday there with the Seattle Supersonics. And him and Sean Kemp, man, heck of a duo.
Do you think he's one of the most underrated point guards of all time?
I don't necessarily think he was underrated. he's given his due, and I think one day he will take his steps into the NBA Hall of Fame. So,
Go get it, man. Just go get it.
Oakland bred. If you want to go back to that Yay area stuff. Ball's back to Miranda. She drives to the basket. Great drive.
And great jump stop. Couldn't finish, but Finn with the rebound.
Backboard. Finn grabs the rebound, and we hear the coach yelling backboard as we say backboard here on the mics.
Possession arrow to the McAuliffe Challengers.
And here goes that full court pressure. Looks like a box 2-2-1. A little out of whack for Pal White there, a little out of position. And there's too many steps. Challengers. Ball back to Pal White. I think if Coach Hernandez doesn't get them, in position, or if they can't get it straight, they're going to have to make some halftime adjustments, because when you're not pressuring correctly, you can give up layups.
A lot of layups. Very easy.
Nice shot by Finn that just barely tags out. She gets her own rebound.
And it's fouled on the rebound.
Foul by number 8. That's Laisha Brown, number 8, by the Christa McAuliffe Challengers. It's not a shooting foul, so they must have tapped her on the rebound. Pal White inbounds. Ball's inbounded to number 2. Lane violation. Looks like Finn may have stepped over the blue line there, which you can't do. Ball back into the Challengers. Looks like they're trying to get set up in their pressure again. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. There's Stone again.
With another travel.
Backcourt call. Both feet in the ball have to cross half court. I didn't believe it did right there.
Whoa, she said backcourt. I thought it was a travel, man.
No, she called backcourt, I believe, unless she did some sort of carryover, because it looked like she went. So I'm not sure if it was backcourt.
And we have an
carryover.
offensive foul called on 0-0. What is your? Give me your critique on as far as how it should go. As a ball handler dribbling the ball up the court and the off arm, is it extends, or even if they just push a little bit, is that an offensive foul really?
You know what? I personally say extend. The problem goes back to kind of what we discussed a little while ago, and you can think of some of these Shaq rules from when he played. He would get hammered and wouldn't get a call, but yet a smaller center, a more lightweight center, was getting ticky-tack fouls. Now, if you have a bigger point guard bringing the ball up and she has her hands out and she just dribbles at her, well, then it's going to look like more contact than if a speedier, smaller guard has that arm out. And now, it's now making the ref make a decision. It's a judgment call, and sometimes it's when a player gets ran over or a player gets bumped, you just got to make a call. So it's
now,
situational, I would say.
Does LeBron James go through that right now, you feel like?
In a sense, yes.
Because he's so big and so dominant of a player.
It's such a tough call. All those offensive foul calls, anyone, whether it be taking a charge or the off-arm extension, or when a player's right there is an offensive foul to me. I'm sorry. She extended, the player was riding her up the court, but if you're not going to call the riding and you push off, then you got to call the push off.
I agree.
It's one or the other. But you can't let it be a free play. All the way. And here we go, number 5 and number 6 checking in for Pal White.
Micah Johnson and Savannah Cuevas. We're in the second quarter, ladies and gentlemen.
Micah's bringing the ball up the court. She goes right into it, and here we go, the smaller guard now, what we were just discussing. And they're going to try to put Finn in the post so she doesn't have to bring the ball up the court and try to get some points with her in a more, apt position for her. Down low. It does 2 things by putting her down on the block.
What's that, Matt?
One, she's in a spot where maybe they can get it to her down low on a smaller player, but 2, she's constantly in position for what we use as the coin term trash points. They're not trash points, they're part of the game, and they can win your games just by being down there. Shots go up, they fall in her hands, and she gets easy layups. And so right now, she's down there. Look at that, and she gets the ball. She wasn't down there before, she had opportunity for 2.
Not at all. And do you think also it conserves a little bit of energy for her? Instead of her having to bring the ball up the court, getting worked up the court all game long, now she can just worry about.
There it was again, right to her.
And she scores 2.
Excellent adjustment by Hernandez there, by bringing her down there.
You talked about his coaching prowess earlier, though.
I'll tell you what. the comment you just made also about conserving energy, because it looks like I haven't seen her come out yet, and we're 3 minutes and 19 seconds left in the second quarter, so conservation of energy might be huge for her. And so it did basically kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Took the ball out of her hand, take a little pressure off of her, stick her down at the low block. They're not getting her the ball at the low block, but they're getting jump shots. She's rebounding the ball now and has had 3 opportunities already and cashed in 2 points out of it.
And they're up 6-3 in this second quarter, ladies and gentlemen, with 3:19 left. Challenger coach Tisha Stone over there trying to strategize on how to probably stop Miss Finn.
And not a bad decision if that's going to be your choice. She's doing an excellent job. Her team is very disciplined. I'm loving their defense, but right now with this small unit in, it's going to be tough to stop that 0-0 down there. And here we go. It looks like a...
Have you ever seen a stack on the opposite side of the court?
No, but I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to get all 4 girls up, but there it is with Powell White having their big defenders trapping. Even though the 1 pass away they're leaving open, they can't get her the ball because they're getting tipped hands on the ball.
And it's Powell White ball. And Finn with the 3.
Finn from downtown doesn't draw iron. Micah, number 5, gets the rebound. Nothing there. Number 10 kicks it back out.
To Savannah Cuevas for 2. Powell White is really dominating the offensive boards, Matt.
I'll tell you what, though, if I were McAuliffe right now, I would take advantage of the fact that there doesn't seem to be urgency, though, on Powell White getting into the full court pressure. Look at that. If you attack it, they're going to foul you. They made that shot, and it took them about 7 seconds to get into their pressure, but the challengers gave them the ability to do that because they seemed to get the ball out slow, and they stood out of bounds for about 6 seconds before subbing in. If I were them, and I'm not saying I'm anybody great, but at halftime, I would really focus on telling them we get the ball out quick, especially on made baskets, and beat that pressure before they set up, because they're really having a problem getting into their full court press. Here's number 6 dribbling the ball up the court. And there's the ride.
But like you said earlier in the third and fourth grade game, consistency is key. Consistency is key by the refs.
Absolutely, and there was obviously the correct call. She let it ride her for the 1 or 2 seconds. She probably even said hands off. Some refs like to say something, and she didn't get off, so that was the correct call there, due to the fact that she did not extend her arm the way 0-0 did earlier.
Yes, and we have Savannah Cuevas at the line for 1 and 1. And Savannah shoots and scores. Like you said earlier, a testament to Gary Hernandez being one of the better shooters. You can tell by all his girls. Great form. At the free throw line. From Cuevas, his own daughter Miranda Hernandez, and even Finn.
That's a violation there again, though. I'm not sure.
Consistency. To all the young refs out there. Consistency. But like I said, they've been consistent in not calling it.
That's true, and I think they've actually done a fine job. And there's Finn in the right spot at the low block. Look, opportunity. Jada Stone with a great rip. That might have been a foul there, too. Good, slide your feet. Quality defensive work. Back to number 8. She tacks to the right. Excellent attack. Oh, off her foot. Micah gets the ball, but foot is out of bounds.
23 seconds left in the first half, ladies and gentlemen. Score 9-3 in favor of the Powell White Beavers.
That number 8, Laisha Brown, is quick with the ball. I think they need to try to get the ball in her hands a little more often. She really can turn the corner.
Steal by Cuevas with 8 seconds left.
Got to know the clock in this situation.
Ooh, could have gave it up for easy layup to number 5, Micah, or number 0-0, Finn. But now she's at the line shooting.
I was kind of wondering why Hernandez didn't call a timeout in that situation, but smart play because they're in the bonus. So he went ahead and just let it run out, and they'll take the free throws. But the running clock, you got to coach a little differently. With the clock not running, the clock stopping, teams try to do all kinds of stuff that I've seen over the years. Sub every play if you're up 6 or 7. So it's a very tactical game. There's different things you have to do in a running clock situation game, Sam.
What would you do in a running clock situation?
In that situation?
In that situation right there, what would you have done?
If I was shooting, no timeout. Obviously, you call a timeout there if there's 4 or 5 seconds left so that you can inbound the ball and get a shot up. You know, in the games like this where it's 9-3, the lower levels, like we've talked about all day today, one possession could be the difference in a ball game.
One possession, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, we will go to break for the 47th annual Rotary Tournament. But before, I would like to give a shout out to the Oxnard Rotary Club, Gibbs International Truck Center, and CPA, Soares, Sandal, Bernici, and Petrovich.
Certified public accountants.
And welcome back to the 47th annual Girls Rotary Tournament, the 5th grade division, where we have the Powell White Beavers versus the McAuliffe Challengers. Powell White is up 9-3 heading into the second half. Some of the keys for the Powell White team has been their ability on defense.
I would agree with that. I think another big factor, though, has been their size advantage. It may not look overly, but at every position, they're either the same size or have a significant size difference. And it's been a little tough for Christa McAuliffe to overcome.
It has been. And also, the free throw shooting ability by
ball back.
these Powell White Beavers.
Their ball goes into Micah, and there's Finn again, waiting to get the ball.
There's Cuevas wide open down low. But she travels.
Looks like she shuffled a little bit.
There's that pressure you were talking about, though. You pressure up, it's hard to see.
Well, pressure bursts pipes, and basically by that we just mean pressure creates panic. Panic creates unforced turnovers, and especially the lower level you go, you know, most of these girls only have 2-3 years of experience, and you know, you can't mimic a real game at practice, Samson.
It's very hard.
I mean, all they got is probably about 40, 50 games under their belt for some who play club, and those who don't, maybe 10, 12 games under their belts in their playing days. So, but it'll all come in due time. Ball comes up. They're getting very consistent with that call of bumping you from behind or the side. That was a good call. Looks like number 25, Jada Stone, is going to take the ball out.
She's been a real bright spot for the Challengers, scoring all 3 of their points so far.
Ball goes into Lachey. There she goes with that attack I was talking about in the first half. Great pass, a little low. Should have been caught. Got to go up with it. You only get 5 seconds. No, it should be 3 seconds now, right?
At the 5th grade level, it is 3 seconds. No more 5. They're calling that ride now, as you can see. Maybe the refs convened at halftime. We're to talk about this riding call.
You know, at this youth level where it's a 5-minute halftime, you really don't have that much time to make adjustments. So what you should do is really just focus on the absolute must adjustments that you saw throughout the first half. Here goes Jada Stone dribbling the ball up the court. She lobs it over the top, a little short, picked off.
And picked up by Ariel Ramirez.
And Ariel carries the ball over.
And we have a timeout by the Challengers.
So what do you see, Samson, to the keys to maybe the Challengers being to get back into this ball game?
They need a point guard. They need someone that can handle the ball.
I told you, Brown, number 8, I've seen some great shines of success when she has the ball in her hand. I'm not sure, maybe she doesn't attack as well from the top, but she's definitely attacking baseline and making the correct plays, I believe. They just haven't really been able to finish off any of them.
Like anything, any team, any basketball game, that you need a good point guard. You need a solid point guard to have any chance of winning. And we have that here with the Powell White Beavers, with Finn and with Micah, and being able to trade off.
I would agree
bringing
with
the ball up.
I would absolutely agree with you. And I say it this most, and this is not a knock on the game of girls basketball. I watch a lot of guys basketball. I watch plenty of girls basketball at all levels. And to me, I've said this time and time again, the most important thing for a girls basketball team is to have ball handlers.
It's huge. You can even look at Oxnard College, for example. This year, the women's team, last year didn't have a point guard. There's no knock on the girls team last year, but you bring in a player like Rochelle Bakia and look at the drastic change in the culture and the program now with her being there.
you go from a 2-3 win team to a playoff chance to win the WSC conference is just
That's off of one player ball handler. So the point guard position is very, very key and very important.
A little fun fact about Rochelle, believe it or not, I was her very first coach. I was only 16 years old, coaching for one of my mentors, Jerry Parker, CAF championship coach, who now is the head coach at Channel Islands High School, who Rochelle is actually on our coaching staff there as well. But I coached her at 16 when she was a 6th grader, and she was the starting point guard on an all-star team.
Are you serious?
Boys team.
You're showing your age right now, Matt.
No, because I was 16. She's only 4 years off of me. 6th grade, she was 4 years.
Okay, my bad.
But now I'm showing her age. Sorry, Rochelle. I love you, girl.
Back to the action. Cuevas dribbling up, looks around.
Excellent drive. Oh, she probably should have took it about a step before that. Make a nice, and there's Brown. Look at how she turns a corner. That's a foul, and she's going to get 2. I think the challengers need to look to get the ball to number 8's hands. She's doing a fantastic job driving the right side baseline. That's Lachey Brown stepping to the line for 2.
Quick shout out to Gibbs International Trucking Center. They're located in Oxnard, Napomo, Bakersfield, and Fresno. You need a truck? Holla at my man Gibby. And at the line, Lachey shooting, and she hits.
Off a little right, but hey,
just
great
a little,
form.
Just a little outside.
Like I said earlier, you don't want to miss right or left, but when you have proper form, you can make an adjustment on the fly. So she should be able to make an adjustment here, and I think we're going to see a much more quality shot right now.
I hope so, Matt. And she shoots the second one, and it's no good, but a lot better, like you said. Still,
I think her issue right now, just looking at from where I can see, her guide hand seems to be a little too much in front of the ball, and it needs to be more to the side. It's almost like you're blocking your own shot. You're putting a different rotation on the ball than you want. And here goes
by Micah.
Ooh, I'm not too sure if that was a foul. Great defense by Jada Stone, but the one problem she did was she swiped at the ball.
Oh, and that's a big, big foul, because that's the 5th personal foul on Jada Stone, one of their better players.
Key players is just fouled out. Yeah, you got to go straight up on that, because even if you don't foul it, it looks like a foul, especially with a smaller player. Number 5, Micah, steps to the line.
And
doesn't draw iron on the first one.
She definitely let it rain.
I'm not a big fan of having the hand straight up, considering you need to get in there and box out low, but seems to be working out for McAuliffe.
And violation on the shooter, not making contact with the rim. 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter with the Powell White Beavers up 9-3.
Right over the top of the defense, getting that big player. Number 7, that's Jaylene Ruiz with the ball, dribbling up. Here comes number 1, Miranda. Great left-hand work. She dribbles back to the middle, got the ball from left to right. That probably should have been a foul, wasn't called. Miranda pulls up, shoots, nothing. Off the foot, back to Brown, and here goes her attack. She needs to attack all the way right, I believe, right here. There she goes to that right side. She didn't want to turn the corner, though.
Oh,
right idea.
But still by Ari Ramirez. Keep your head up. Keep your head up.
Great trap. Sees over the top.
Goes up, and it's foul.
Good call.
She's fouled by number 24.
And
Melissa Marino.
Coach Stone on the sideline for McAuliffe, they're offering great advice. They had the trap. And basically what she was telling them, when you have the trap, you need to stick on it. Why would you back off when you got them contained, especially at half court, where you basically have a 3rd and 4th defender, because they can't go back half court and they can't go out of bounds. It was almost like they had 5-on-1. And they kind of let her.
They let her get through. And they had 3 players on it. But Finn with the rebound goes back up for 2. Scores 12-3 in favor of Powell White.
There's ball.
With 30 seconds left in the third quarter. They need to watch that off arm on Lachey Brown.
Ball to number 10. That's Malia Garcia. Stolen. Carried the ball over. You know, that's a judgment call, too, because I've never quite got what it is. They say if your hand doesn't go under the ball, it can't be carrying. Did you see your hand go under?
I did not see your hand. It just went high. But just because of the way it looked.
It's a must call. Absolutely.
It's not a must call, though. I don't feel it's a must call, but it is what it is. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Into the third quarter. Score 12-3 in favor of the Powell White Beavers. One more quarter of action to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens.
Once again, another shout out to our sponsors. Gibbs International Truck Center, located in Oxnard, Napoma, Bakersfield, and Fresno, as well as the Rotary Club for putting on this fantastic event for the girls here, 47th annual. And also, Soros Sando, Barnacini, and Petrovich, certified public accountants of support your youth and community is what they're doing by, you know,
taking your money
and making you money.
Also, I'd like to give a shout out to City Corps and as well the city of Oxnard.
Absolutely.
For even putting this on for you guys to watch these games. Without them, we would not be here today, ladies and gentlemen, providing this for you guys.
I'll tell you what, Samson, if you were to walk into this gym, you just think that people show up, the show goes on, but I'll tell you what, City Corps has done a fantastic job. There's a lot more that goes into putting on a tournament like this than just showing up and playing. The Rotary Club, the staff, the referees, the coaches, the players, the camera crew, but you know what? City Corps does a lot of that very dirty work, I guess you could kind of say hard work, and they put it in, man, and I really respect that.
They do.
So here goes Powell going in. Looks like McAuliffe has finally put on a full court pressure. But see, this is where we say you just got to attack the gaps.
And she goes to the basket, coast to coast, cannot finish though.
But got the shot they wanted. And Samson, you alluded to this earlier, that when they press up, if you don't press right, it usually ends in a layup. And they got uncontested layup from one of their better players. Probably should have made that one.
She should have.
Challengers got bailed out there.
I don't question what's sub right now.
Looks like Brown, number 8's checking out the game for the Challengers. Ooh, nice crossover. Ball goes over the top to the middle.
Ooh, and we have
I'm not sure if that's a foul, but I guess you got to call something.
It actually possibly could be an offensive foul.
I was going to say.
Have to allow.
Oh, okay. They didn't call the foul.
Oh, they called travel, which to me, either offensive foul or travel is the right call, Matt.
You know what it was? She gave her one step, and it looked like she was trying to make a pass. The passing motion pulled her forward, and unfortunately, that was the result. And as you can tell, the coach doesn't seem to be upset with that call, so she must be very, well skilled in basketball to know that that wasn't, because if you didn't know what you were doing, you almost always going to think that was a foul on the other
Good crossover by Michael,
Oh!
but she cannot finish the layup.
Powell, White Beavers seem to be missing a lot of easy ones, but still remain up 9 in this game.
With 6:27 left in the game and foul on number 1, Miranda Hernandez.
See, what we discussed earlier, Samson, I'm not sure if it was the 3rd and 4th game, but right now, don't you think that maybe the Challengers during free throws, down 9, should be using their timeouts to stop the clock?
Yes, you alluded to that earlier. It was this game right here in the first quarter.
Right before halftime, that's right.
No, the first quarter. It was the first quarter.
Either way, I think right now, because they stopped at the 2 minutes. Now, I do think you need to keep one in your back pocket for that final 2 minutes. But if you got 2, 3 left, right now they're going to waste a minute just on these 2 shots here.
Exactly.
And at the lower levels where the free throw percentages are lower, I don't know.
And actually, that free throw didn't count, actually. She actually jumped over the line. They actually called it. Was she shooting 3?
See, right there should have been a lane violation, and they've been calling it all game. And they didn't that time.
But they called it on the first one. It is what it is.
It is
Here
what
we
it
go.
is.
Michael
Back
dribbles
to
the ball
game.
up.
Passes out to number 1, Miranda Hernandez from way downtown. Doesn't draw iron. Kicks back to number 7, bounces off her knee. Here she goes, coming up the right side of the baseline here. Kicks it back to number 10, to the middle of the court.
Good idea. There's no execution.
Just a bit too high.
5 minutes left in the game, ladies and gentlemen. With the score 12-4 in favor of the Powell White Beavers.
It looks like they're trying to go to some denial on Finn.
The ref had a little bit of hugging action on number 10, Malia Garcia. Here goes Finn.
And here we go. Like we said, if you're going to press her up, you got to know what you're doing, because it's going to lead to a lot of fouls or a lot of layups if you're not disciplined out of full court press. Well, I'm not sure what they called there. Well, I must have missed that one.
We both missed that one.
Just looked like a foul on the challengers, but Powell does get the ball back. Micah throws it over to number 6,
Savannah Cuevas.
Ball's kicked back out to Miranda. Jump shot from about 20 feet off the back iron.
I will say this: the second half, McAuliffe Challengers have done a good job defensive rebounding compared to the first half.
Oh, absolutely. You can tell by the score. They've only given up. Well, now they've given up 5 points. Was it 9?
It was 9. It was 9-3. Only 5 points in the second half. Scores 14-4.
Brown trying to beat this. Look at now they're disciplined. I think Hernandez, and I can hear Coach Hernandez saying don't reach. He wants to keep the ball in front of him so the clock ticks down.
And here we go. Savannah to the basket.
And there's Finn. Right place, right time. I hate to call them trash points, but trash points win ball games.
Whoa, we got a breakdown, I believe, going on right now with Lachey Brown.
Uh-oh, and another one open, and there's Finn right there if that comes off.
This time, Savannah Cuevas with the offensive rebound.
Ball goes down, Finn's wide open, she's in position again, and there she is.
With another rebound. That is the 5th offensive rebound. 6th offensive rebound in this one possession right now.
If we could keep, and that's the right time to use a timeout. Great timeout by Coach Stone. The clock was going to tick down there with an injured player, and these 34 seconds could be the difference if they can make a little run here.
They could.
You never know. You know, the three-point ball has become the great equalizer. And if you want to bring the three-point ball into this game, they're 3 possessions away from being in a ball game.
Since we talking about the three-point ball, how do you feel about the three-point shot? Do you think these NBA guys are messing up for these young kids? Because they see them on the TV screen, and they come out firing from the three-point line.
Well, I don't think it's messing it up. I think that, and I was going to say something about this in the 3rd, 4th grade game. When you need to shoot as far as you can shoot with perfect form. And if it's only a layup, you shouldn't be taking any other shots until you can move back. Because shooting is all about muscle memory and muscle twitch fibers. So if you're in 4th grade and your coach is allowing you to do that over-the-shoulder heave, he's actually
hindering your game.
Absolutely.
For later down the road.
So it comes down to the coaches, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
If a 3rd grader can knock down a steady 3 with form, I'm all for it. But I think coaches need to not let, even if it's a bigger player and she can reach, not shoot 3s if they don't have decent form at least.
I understand. There's the wisdom again from the great Matt Boogie Ramirez. Another offensive rebound for Powell White. They have lived on the offensive rebounds, ladies and gentlemen.
Christa McAuliffe seems to be a little out of energy at this point right now. They don't seem to be going for the rebound as hard as they were earlier in the game.
And another steal. Savannah's coast to coast. Wait, never mind. She passed it off and foul. That was a little too late, I think, on that pass off.
Well, you know what? Savannah's actually probably missed her last 2 or 3 open layups, and It does start to play head games with you. We've all played the game. We understand when you miss 3 or 4 in a row, the 5th one's harder. If you miss that one, the 6th one's harder. And I think she just thought, I got an open player, let me pass it off. And
Now, hold on now, Matt. You're a shooter. I know you were top. You miss that first one, you keep shooting. You miss the second one, you keep shooting. Miss the third one, you keep shooting. Don't let it get to your mind. Don't let it get to your psyche. But like you said, these are young girls.
absolutely.
So like you said, it could play on the psyche just a little bit.
Well, I still think she should have took that lip to try to get her out of it. Obviously, right now, it really didn't make a difference. I don't believe in this game. But this young lady, seeing her talent level, she has a lot of years left to play. And believe it or not, there's always learning experiences to be had. And I think she should realize, hey, I missed my last 2. I'm going to go ahead and try it again, especially in a game that's out of reach, because the pressure's kind of off you at that point.
It is. And another offensive rebound and putback, this time by Miranda Hernandez. Score is 18-4, 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the ball game.
Looks like Pal White's finally dropping their pressure back, which is a smart decision. Let the clock tick down a little bit. Nice attack, over the top, gonna be shooting 2. That right baseline has been there every time. Christa McAuliffe has done a great job at seeing the floor and making the right plays. Just unfortunately, they've had a few high passes, a few low passes, but what they were trying to do was the correct action, is what I'm trying to say.
The correct basketball play.
It's just, only game experience and getting out there is going to be able to help fix some of those things,
Speaking of that, what do you feel about this AAU stuff going on nowadays? You feel kids don't just play enough basketball, just having fun playing the game, that they try to do too much organized AAU basketball type stuff?
Well, ever since they switched club basketball to allowing the high schools to be a club team with their coach, I do like that version of it. But the overpowered one, when you're talking about the elite athletes who are playing in these crazy tournaments, I don't like the game, because what they're doing is they're basically playing the game before they learn the game. Okay, and I always tell basketball like this. The foundation of basketball is the fundamentals. It's the footwork, it's the boxing out, it's the playing hard, it's the help side D. And if you start doing, three-point shots like we talked about, reverse layups, trying to just reach instead of slide your feet, well, now you're trying to put the roof and the windows up on your house before you have a foundation. And that's going to make you worse of a ball player. And I think Charles Barkley alludes to it a lot on TNT and when he's commentating about AAU destroying the game, and that's part of the reason, because these kids are starting to play in games before they have a foundation to their home. And by home, obviously, is an analogy for their game.
And here we go, Lachey Brown at the free throw line shooting 2. I didn't want to cut you off, Matt, but that was a great analogy. I should say assessment right there of the game.
Thank you, Samson. Lachey Brown misses both. You know what? You can say what you want about the 5 points from McAuliffe. Brown has had a tremendous game in my eyes. She has a bright future ahead of her. She's got some raw talent. It's going to take a little more developing, like we've talked about fundamentals, but she's a quality player. I also think them losing Stone about halfway through the third didn't help them as well.
Not help at all.
It seemed like the team got a little dejected when she came out, maybe like that's their leader. When you don't have your leader on the court, everybody kind of hangs their head low.
And here we go, a 1-on-1 situation for Lachey Brown. Score is 18-5 with 41 seconds left in the ball game. Matt, is it time to say it yet? Is it about that time, sir?
Brown knocks down a free throw.
Is it about that time?
Unless it's rock and jock and we're going to pull out the 25-point shot, it's about that time.
Go ahead, brother.
It's on you this time. Let's see what you can give me.
I'm so old, so young, I forgot who Chick Hearn is.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll even try to add some new ones then. Right now on the fly, kind of freestyle.
Go ahead.
I think Pal White's got this one in hand. The refrigerator door is shut. Summer Chicks classic. The butter's getting hard. The jello's jiggling. But I want to do some other ones. I want to say the hot dogs are stiffening up. The pizza's getting cold. Topper's Pizza.
The best in Ventura County.
They've been voted, I think, Reader's Choice by VC, the Star, the paper, about the last 10 years.
Golly.
By Reader's Choice. About the last 16 years in a row.
They have the best ranch. They have the best ranch in America.
And there's Finn with another 2 that pretty much put this one away, if it wasn't already. But valiant effort by the challengers, I'll tell you that much. Great game by both players.
And the final
ball game.
score is 20-6 in favor of the Powell White Beavers over the McAuliffe Challengers. And ladies and gentlemen, the Powell White Beavers are your 5th grade Girls Rotary Tournament champions, coached by Mr. Gary Hernandez.
I think we talked about this earlier, but the fact that they have a 5th grade division is excellent. With the middle schools now having 6th, 7th, and 8th, and them having full 6th grade teams, and some of like Sunkist, the Christa McAuliffe, who are K through 5, basically we're putting 5th grade teams against 6th grade teams, making it tough. So I really like the idea of this 5th grade division.
But that's a testament again, which you alluded earlier to. Just look at all these girls playing the game of basketball now.
And that alone, Samson, is huge.
So the sport is growing definitely in the city of Oxnard. And we just had a great championship game. But Powell just overmatched the McAuliffe Challengers today.
I think it came down to pretty much right place, right time. And we get Fingali coming to the game. I think she was one of the key players today.
5 teams. So today these were our top 2 teams. If we can give a round of applause for both teams.
As you can hear that round of applause for these 2 teams today. And the runner-up is the McAuliffe Challengers, coached by Miss Tisha Stone. Coach must be an avid Clippers fan.
Naomi?
You would think so. I was hearing earlier discussions of them maybe trying to land, was it Howard? They said Howard would be willing to play in LA. Oh, no, it wasn't Howard. Anyways, we'll get back to that later. Number 7, Jaylene. And here goes Anissa.
Abby?
Number 51,
Malia?
Abigail. Number 10, Malia. Number 24, Melissa.
Jada?
Number 25, Jada Stone.
Bryn?
Number 20, Bryn.
Lachey?
Number 8, Lachey Brown.
Ariana?
Number 21, Ediana.
And now,
And the last one called was number 11, Ivana Osborne.
and now we will present the championship trophy
And this year
to the Powell White Beavers, coached by Mr. Gary Hernandez. First up is Jocelyn
Chavez.
Averiel Ramirez, coach's daughter, Miranda Hernandez. Savannah Cuevas. Ariel Moreno. Finagala Nelson. Probably the player of the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, absolutely agree with you. She seemed to be in the right place at the right time all the time, and her ball handling, bringing the ball up in that pressure was fantastic.
And last but not least, Danessa Izagiri and Micah Johnson. These are your 5th grade division Rotary Tournament champions, the Powell White Beavers.
Congratulations to both teams. Valiant efforts, worked hard. All right, I'm here with Coach Gary Hernandez, who's Powell White 5th grade division just won the championship in the 47th annual girls tournament. Coach, first thing I want to ask, what do you think the keys to success was for you and your team today?
Fundamentals and hard defense. That's all it is. It's all about making layups and fundamentals of basketball.
Well, you're known on the streets as G, so I'm glad you're not giving me the Popovich treatment right now and answering my questions. Is there anything else you want to say maybe about this squad? And I was saying earlier in the commentary that I'm glad they went to a 5th grade division because of the middle school and the 6th grade thing. How do you feel about this new added 5th grade division?
I think it works out good because everybody's at an equal competition. The level of playing is very equal, and some of the girls are more developed in the 6th grade compared to the 5th grade. And the girls just worked hard and they wanted to win and have fun. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Hey, congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
Champions, Powell White coach, G. Hernandez.
Thank you.
All right, and now we're here with a couple of the key players in today for Powell White's championship victory in the 5th grade division. Here with Savannah Cuevas, who me and also the other commentator, Sampson, thought you were the real anchor to the defense. A lot of steals, a lot of rebounding. Your scrappy mentality got it done. How did you feel during the game, and what did you see went on?
I just thought if we had great defense, we'd win it all.
Defense and layups is exactly what your coach said were the keys to success. So you're telling me you agree with your coach?
Yeah.
Smart woman. Is there anything else you want to say to anybody else, your teammates, about this year, this season, or just being the champion of the 5th grade division? That's a huge honor. In this community, this is the biggest tournament, I believe, for youth basketball.
I just wanted to tell all my teammates good job.
I held it there for a reason. Congratulations on your victory, Savannah. Great job. And now here we are with Finn Nelson, who we thought, I said earlier about Savannah Cuevas anchoring the defense. We thought you were a huge part of anchoring the offense tonight. Double digits in scoring, double digits in rebounding. In fact, I counted on one possession where you actually had 6 offensive rebounds in a single possession. Is there anything you want to say about what you did on the offensive end, dribbling the ball up to the press, rebounding, and getting after it?
Well, I just want to say thank you to my coach because I couldn't have done that without him there. So I want to say thank you to my coach and to my teammates that are helping me out on the court.
Absolutely. And how about your fierce attack, rebounding the ball and getting after it? The tenacity that you showed out there was awesome, and the way you handled the ball. You see basketball a lot more in your future?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing basketball for a while now, so I really want to play basketball for a long time.
Do you happen to play any other sports?
I do track and field, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations, Finn, on your championship win tonight. Finn Nelson, championship, Powell White.